Kumar at naman danuang parak ng ilako tunak tikar gani masawa tunak bila katarage Southern Sharks kanda masa North Southern Gladiators kanda mataray pad pini matarage samin ikim sada Shan apasawit kana Subodhasana.
Subodhasana, thank you very much indeed, Heshan. There you go, I've got it all sorted out. Thank you very much to Shanaka and to Clifford running that last game. It was an intense match and the Jaffa Challengers eventually coming in front, but right now this is the last quarter-final. This is CSN Live. It's the Carlton Super 7's Day 2, and Day 2 is all about how much petrol, how big is your heart. That really is the key. And you know, coaches and trainers and all the things that you've done in the build-up to this come down right now. This is when you get tested. This is when your heart is exposed, and how much can you actually run up and down and make sure you link up as a side. And of course, joining me on commentary now, who's going to be our new buddy, Willie Lose. Willie, it's been an intense three quarters so far, my goodness. Can you imagine being out there right now in this temperature? It's a beautiful day, but the conditions underfoot, Willie, I have to say it's very early in the morning. There's been some watering done overnight, and there's a lot of surface moisture up there.
Yeah, there is. I think that if I'd won the toss, I probably would have fielded as well, because you'd want to bat second on this pitch. With the way that it's drying out nice and quickly.
Especially you've got Duckworth Lewis stepping up to the mark as well.
Well, exactly. But you did right, and nobody would have predicted the upsets that we have had here. You know, Western Warriors finishing first yesterday in their pool and then being beaten by the Northwestern Blacks, and the same with the Eastern Eagles, who were really terrific yesterday, and they've been beaten as well. Exactly. So, you know, that just goes to show, and you summed it up brilliantly in your opening, that it's all about heart, it's all about desire, and that's the reason why when you're running on the roads and doing the trainings and you know that your friends are sitting at home eating Coke and popcorn, this is what it's all about.
And picking up, of course. We'll come back to that in a second. Here you go now. It's the Northern Gladiators in the yellow strip versus the Southern Sharks. Both these sides have had very, very good runs up coming through. But of course, it is the last quarter-final, and we'll see how it goes from now onwards. Well, it is really an intense battle. You're going to be really sharp at the breakdowns, and you've got to get that communication absolutely perfect.
Yep, and there you see the first penalty coming from not coming through the gate. You've got to actually come through. You can't illegally come around the side as they had done there. And Boo Thor Thuntry, he really impressed me, the number 8 with the headgear for the Northern Gladiators as they now push it wide. Hupagura, he's a good young player too, isn't he? There's not much to him, but boy, is he strong in the contact.
Exactly, and he's also got a lot of petrol. He can really change the gears and got some good gas on him. So here's ball, not very good in the passing. Ball is a little bit wet in the process, but here we go.
This is Halai Whenua. Halai Whenua, David Halai Whenua opens their account. He scored 3 tries yesterday. The big, impressive Tongan finally gets to free the legs. And boy, he doesn't make too many mistakes when it comes his way, and he's given half a chance. He just got the ball, accelerated, ball in the right hand, the step, and watch the fend coming in here. The fend is there for him to actually protect the ball that's on the right hand side. Didn't even need the fend. I thought he actually did fend the last person coming across, who of course was Surya Bandra.
That's it, and that's what it's all about really. When you get the chance, make the decision, back yourself to go, and that's what he did. These cheerleaders are certainly backing themselves, adding a lot of value to all of us here, and makes us all smile in the early morning sun. Beautiful day here in Galle, we have to say that. It's all dressed up for the occasion. Day 2, as we said, is very intense, but around the park we're expecting a huge crowd come lunchtime. The semi-finals and all the big games are going to be sorted out, Willie. Yeah, we've been blessed so far, and I'm not going to say it too soon, but it's been absolutely gorgeous.
Well, the weather is fantastic, and tell you what, I've been very fortunate to have travelled around the world on the circuit and been to some amazing stadiums. This certainly ranks up there, but having the First Lady here in the crowd, she'll be disappointed, obviously, that her son's side, the Western Warriors, weren't able to get through, but boy, that is just a testament to how good this quality and this competition is, to have a First Lady in the crowd.
Well, it's just a matter of time before His Excellency the President turns up, and you know, I always say this, when you have the two of them, the First Lady and His Excellency the President, but of course today it's not going to be as the President and the First Lady, it's going to be as Mummy and Daddy. Because they come to watch the lads play. It's part of Sri Lanka rugby, and it really is a very special story for world rugby when you have a president and his First Lady and 3 sons who are currently playing in the league. So it's wonderful to see, and of course here's the rest of the Sharks trying to now even up. They've got to try and put some work on here. Here we go.
And they do too. They get it wide. Here's the first chance to actually see them with ball in hand and pace. He's just put a foot on the line. as the young Fijian. No, in fact, that was Samisoni.
Well, he's got some petrol, Willie.
Nasagavesi, well, of course he has, and he freed up the legs there, but just touched the chalk, and now they're looking for the quick start. Referee says, no, you've got to come back to the mark of where it is. But good awareness and good play there.
Well, you've got to come back to the mark if the ball hadn't touched anybody, and I thought that was a fair call from the Gladiators. The referee says, no, come back to the mark and start again, because he thought somebody might have just poured the ball in the process. So here we are for all of you watching on CSN. This is day 2 CSN live from Galle. It's the Carlton Super Sport. Absolutely the 7's. Here's Salvan.
Yeah, and Falau's throwing the ball in, but he's giving it back to Dilip Salvan. Now they push it wide. Arini Ayi spots the gap, the offload, and this should be the first try for the Sharks. He was denied just moments ago, but no doubt about that. The flying Fijian.
Well, he's got some work to do. He actually did a lot of work on this side, and then he actually got into the right place on the wing. Have a look at this. Just there, beautiful support. Sucked in 2 defenders, and perfect offload, really.
Yeah, Samasoni is the man that scored. Arini Ayi, the man that played for Auckland, New Zealand, and also Samoa throughout his career. He was the architect of actually creating the space, and Samasoni didn't need a second invitation. And here is Arini Ayi. Plenty of experience, plenty of class, looking to try and add the extras.
Well, that's what we talk about from the Carlton Super 7's. It's the class, the quality of the world-class player here in Sri Lanka to thrill the audience. Outstanding, and of course the conversions through, and this is the skill that they also bring to the game. It's a clinical finishing, Willie. We talk about those 2-pointers, and it's so important because, you know, when it comes down to the crunch time, if you've got those little conversions across, you're in business.
Well, that can be the difference between winning and losing games, obviously, and so obviously in 7's, the team that scores, and this was a rule that was actually brought in by George Simpkins in 1996, wasn't that long ago, where the team that scores actually gives possession back to the other side, and it's really changed the landscape of the way that 7's is played. It means that everybody gets a chance to get the ball, really, but it also brings some of the skills that you need from the set pieces and kickoffs, lineouts, and also restarts.
Oh, I remember rather well going to Hong Kong for my side, Sri Lanka, and playing Fiji. And just not even getting to smell the ball at the start. So the first half, we just see it clattered up the park and scored. So here we go with the line out.
Yeah, well, you were there representing your country for 4 years through 86 to 90, and we'll speak about the highlight as well of you collecting the plate there in Fiji in 1990. What a memorable moment that must have been. But here with the game and the ball being lost forward, what was that experience like? I mean, firstly in Hong Kong, and then to represent your country in Fiji.
There are people at home going to go, what, when, how far was that back? In 1984, very proud to be able to be part of the Sri Lankan side, captained by a very strong player called Hesham Murthy. Great side, went out and we actually won the bowl there. Wonderful to see 40,000 people standing up and screaming our country's name. Very proud day. We'll talk about that in a sec. Here you go. Lots of good memories, Willie, but here you are as well. We're going to have to try and tap into your memory banks, mate.
Yeah, well, my memory don't serve me too well as I get older, so I need to actually just break out the books. And
we'll put you on the cornflakes when we get back.
Exactly. Here's Falau. Feeds it now, and then they push it out wide. This is Halai Whanua, the try scorer. He pushes it one more time to Gupa. And he's chip-kicked it there, but unfortunately he's kicked it into touch, so he's given possession away. Tight match here. This is the 4th quarter-final. Remember, the winner books a date for a semi-final spot to finish at worst 4th.
That's it, the top 4 slots. Now this is the last of that top 4 slot. We're talking about Hapagod. I thought he was under a little bit of pressure. Didn't really need to kick that ball. He may have just resettled and got the shape back, but didn't happen. So here's Sharks now. Suri Bandara right across. And there's a kick in charge.
Yeah, that's the kick from Arini Ayi that set up the first. Has Samasoni got the pace? No, he hasn't. Good covering here.
There's Hapagod.
Yeah, Hapagod, the man we've been talking about. That's good sweeping play. Now he's giving it to Halai Whanua. Halai Whanua with plenty of space and open man in front. Looks to the right. Naua sees that there is a player that's free on the right-hand side. Keeps his balance as well. Pops out of the first tackle. Now comes in field and keeps possession. This is great play by the Northern Gladiators. Stepping Halai Whanua. Sees that there's more players back towards the right. Marajar feeds off. Halai Whanua, wow, the flick around the back. That's been called in brilliantly by Lutu Mailangi. Still possession with the Gladiators. Referee says penalty. No, he hasn't. He says play on. Naua. One way and then the other. Well, this is how 7's should be played. A lot of patience, and he's just knocked it forward there, and we'll go to the break. No advantage to the Sharks.
Unbelievable, relentless pace. That's what it's all about. And going into the halftime break, they will be absolutely relieved to hear that whistle because they worked so hard. The Gladiators got all the way up the park, but just could not get over the line. Very good defense from the Sharks coming in, Willie, and we've gone to half-time now, and Heshan's going to give you a summary. We'll come back straight after that.
Thank you, Sean. Southern Sharks kandam idirin sidinwa Northern Gladiators kandam samaga targedi lakunu hatai paak lesa Carlton Super 7's rugby tarangawliya sajivi darshana yapi obeta gerene CSN ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ඔස්සේ ලකුණු 7යි 5ක් ලෙසයි තරගයේ ලකුණු පූර්ව දිස්වන්නේ තරගයේ ප්‍රථම භාග නිමාවට පත් වුණේ Southern Sharks කණ්ඩායම ඉදිරියෙන් තවමින් Northern Gladiators කණ්ඩායම මුලින්ම ලකුණු අතරට පිවිසියා ටොංගා ක්‍රීඩක ඩේවිඩ් හලයිෆනුවා ලබාගත් මෙම උත්සාහක දිනවත් සමගින් ලකුණු 5 දක්වා ඔවුන් ඉදිරියට පැමිණියා. ඉන් අනතුරුව ෆීජි ක්‍රීඩක සම්සෝනි නගන්වාසි ලබාගත් මෙම උත්සාහක දිනුමේ ප්‍රවර්තනයත් සමගින් Southern Sharks කණ්ඩායමට හැකියාව ලැබුණා තරගයේ ප්‍රථම භාගය නිමාවට පත්වන විට ඉදිරියෙන් සිටින Southern Sharks කණ්ඩායම ලකුණු 7යි Northern Gladiators කණ්ඩායම ලකුණු 5යි. ඉතා විශාල ප්‍රේක්ෂක පිරිසක් අද දවසේ මේ තරග නැරඹීම සඳහා ප්‍රවිෂ්ඨ වන ආකාරයි අපට දක්නට ලැබෙන්නේ. ඔබ CSN ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ඔස්සේ සජීවී දර්ශන නරඹන අතරතුරේදී ඔබ ගාල්ල අවට සිටිනවා නම් අපි ආරාධනා කරනවා ජාත්‍යන්තර රග්බි ක්‍රීඩකයන්ගේ සුපිරි දස්කම් නැරඹීම සඳහා Carlton Super 7's තරගාවලිය සමග එක්වන ලෙස තරගයේ දෙවන භාගය ආරම්භ කිරීමටයි සූදානම් සිටින Southern Sharks කණ්ඩායම ඉදිරියේ සිටිනවා ලකුණු 7යි 5ක් ලෙස Northern Gladiators කණ්ඩායම අභිභවා. Shan.
Thank you very much, Heshan. So it's a slim, very slim scoreline there, which can change at any given second. And that's what the game is all about. It takes about 15 to 18 seconds for a try to be scored if it's run at pace. And Willie and I are just going to sit here and absorb all of this. It's just the thought of being here in the sun for the players, of course, is a very, very different story, Willie.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, their minds are focused on actually getting points, trying to finish in that top 4 if they can.
And we're just going to go across. Sasha's on the deck there. She's got a very special player next to her.
Here with me right now is coach of the Southern Sharks, Edwin. How do you feel about how the boys are doing right now?
You know, we had a few tough.
Yeah.
We had a few tough matches yesterday, but you know, it's all important to win the first game of the day.
Right.
This is when it really counts. We saw as the Warriors yesterday won most of their games, and they went out and lost, so they are the cup competition now.
All right, thank you so much, coach. There you go. Match has started. We're going to go back into the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Sasha. She was going to try and work. I thought she was going to play for a second, but she's just on the corner line there, on the touchline. And Edwin Coker, what a great player for the Sharks. He's been there from the start, and he was just saying about that one-game story.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's a 10-team league. It's a one game. Day 2 is intense.
Yeah, and he'll be pleased too because his team has the possession. Pereira looks and spots the kick. Probably not the right option because the sweeper was in behind. And now the Gladiators all in front of them. 58 metres that they need to go. And he's been one of the impressive players. Mutho Thundri. The headgear, very easy to notice. And he's been really working hard as we make the break here. Another one of the good players, Hupo Gura, looks to offload, and he has done. Mareja is going to score. Fazel Mareja, what a try.
Nicely worked there. Hapagoda just bit his time a little bit. He knew that he had Fazil Maja at pace, and that was nice to see. Good offload in the end, but Maja had a little bit too. Have a look at this. Here's Hapagoda, ball in hand. Ball in both hands. This is so important. Has a look. There you go. Just steps back and has a little pop with Maja at pace. Always tough when you got somebody really motoring up the park there, and to be able to control it because the cover defend is lateral. And somebody's running straight at the line. Fabulous stuff. Sri Lanka's captain, Fazil Maja, as well. Outstanding 7's talent. He really is perhaps one of the best all-round rugby players that Sri Lanka has ever produced.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, we've mentioned it, the confidence that these Sri Lankan players having the experience of internationals there, but you know, that was work. That's as good as a try that you'll see anywhere in the world. And it just shows the confidence of running the right angle, supporting. And Hopagudo, he's not a big man, is he? But oh boy, does he give 120% for his team?
Yes, he does. If he's, I think he matches his weight in the work rate. So you've got to try and work that out because he really does give 200% all the time he plays. Unfortunately, when we were up in the two local legs in Navalapitiya and in Nureli, which is up in the hills, really, it rained consistently all the way through. And these players really didn't get a chance to, shine and use their skills with the ball handling stuff. So this is absolutely brilliant for them. They're really enjoying it.
Well, the conversion was good, and so they lead by 5. Can they get it over the 10 metres? It's gone 10, but it's gone out on the full as well. And so the Southern Sharks lead by 5, but they're not lead by 5, they're actually behind by 5. Northern Gladiators lead by 5. The Sharks have possession, and here is Arini Ie, the architect, one way and then the other. This is Nanai, the young 19-year-old Samoan out of Auckland, New Zealand. His first touch of the ball, and now saw him score a wonderful try yesterday. He's big and strong, and he's looking for players. Ie sizes up the opportunity one way and then the other. Senevarante pops it up. Here is that man Nanai that I was talking about, caught in a good tackle. Possession should be turned over here, but the referee says that you haven't rolled away. Ie knows that they trail by 5, looking to try and work some of his magic. Just patience needed here, taking it into possession, into contact and just holding on to it. Could be a turnover here, the counter ruck comes in. Referee says play on. Ie is back there, as is Nanai. See just how big and strong he is, trying to get through the tackle of Halai Whanua. Got to hold your feet in that situation.
He's done well, Willie. He's done really well. Held up there, set it up for Ie.
Ie tries to earn an extra couple of metres, but he's lost it forward, and the referee says the player in at contact, Halai Whanua, hadn't rolled away. So now the touch, the step, and the contact. All the possession has been with the Southern Sharks inside the 22, and you've got to ask the question, how much patience has the ref got? But he says that he's held on in the tackle.
That's Suri Bandara, also outstanding scrum half for Sri Lanka, and player, fly half, utility player, definitely. And he's one of the players who's grown in stature over the last couple of Carlton Super 7s. So unfortunately for him, he had no choice. He was pinned on the deck. Had to give away the penalty, so referee brings play back now. It's important for the Sharks to see if they can actually try and go from here, but let's see how good the line-out is.
And there's Murtha coming on as well, Jaya Singh in jersey number 2, plenty of colour and excitement here in goal at the Carlton Super 7s in 2013. Of course, the penalty there meant that you get the right to throw the ball into the line-out. Naua does well to loop around, and now they get it out. Fazil Marija gets it back into Falau. Man that threw the ball into the line-out did well to get across the field, and now they push it wide, trying to find a mismatch as they get it back to the cut, the loop. And there's the new man that we're talking about, Jaya Singh, his first touch of the ball. That's the cricket pitch that they're on. Still possession, Niua. Just slowing things down a little. Halai Whanua, there's a gap there, a big gap as he feeds it back inside. This is Falau. Falau gets it wide to Lia Nage. Now they go wide again. Halai Whanua in for the corner and scores the 3rd try. Puts it beyond doubt.
Well, they certainly took their time about it. They just swung the ball up and down, left to right, and made sure that they got numbers. It was Pradeep Lienage in the process. There it is, just trying to change the angle of play. And he frees Whanua in the corner, and Suri Bandara just not strong enough to try and stall his progress. He gets in the corner, strides one, and scores. David Frank, Halai Whanua. There you go. Try time for the Gladiators, and they've done all the initial work. Here's Willie's favorite story. It's the Papare band he was telling me about. He was asking me the details and the history of the Papare band. Well, I should have to, just put my hand up and say, it's a Papare band, Willie, and they will scream and shout, and they really enjoy their play. It's an infectious sound. It's part of the baila, and it's part of what Sri Lanka has also brought to the world. When the World Cup happened, Willie, the baila and the Papare actually was the official sound for the World Cup, the Cricket World Cup here in Sri Lanka.
Fantastic, yeah, no, I've seen those images, as I say. When New Zealand's here playing against Sri Lanka in any form of the game, we get to see all the colour and the excitement in the crowd. And my apologies, that was actually Jordan Tupou, who didn't play at all on day one. That's why I thought it was Halai Whanua, but he's in jersey 14, so Jordan Tupou scoring that try. And what an impressive day 2 he's had. As I say, not used in any of the 4 games yesterday, so my apologies to Halai Whanua and also to Jordan Tupou for scoring that try.
Plus, of course, he's got fresh legs, he's got plenty of petrol, and he'll have no issues about running up and down the park.
Well, they now trail by 10 to the Southern Sharks, and so 2 quick tries required. Here's Nanai pushing it wide. Surya Bandara gets it out, and now they come on the cut. Still inside their own 22 other Southern Sharks, but at the wrong end of the field, but they do have possession. And that's 2/3 of the law in 7's. Nanai gets it wide. This is Sanavarante. Sanavarante gets it into Abayakun. Now another cut as well. This is really good play by the Sri Lankan players, and they've earned themselves a penalty as well. Good play. The referee says this is the mark here. You've got to come back. It's Sanavarante. I like the way that he's playing.
Well, he does add another dimension because he's quite a clever ball dispenser. He's able to look at that space and then just offload at the right time.
Well, the hit and spin, Ratni.
There's Chaturanga, Willie.
Well, look, they've heard the siren and they just want to end the game to the Northern Gladiators, and that's just what they've done. They've kicked it out into touch, and they've won by 10 points. A fantastic effort by the Northern Gladiators. Not so impressive on day one, but a totally different team on day two, and they've made it through to the semi-finals of the top 4.
Well, that's what it's all about, really. It's that first game we talked about, and that's what the Warriors find out at the hands of the Northwestern Blacks. And the Northern Gladiators have also turned tables, much against the run of form, and given the Southern Sharks a huge shock. Heshan's going to summarise, and we'll come back just after that.
Thank you, Sean.